So schema will tell you or will help you to understand the description of the database. So fine, it includes the description of database structure. Schema is also called intention and state is also called extension. The current state at this particular point of time, whatever the data that I have, I will treat that as a instance. So the database schema changes infrequently. Infrequently in the sense not frequently. Hello everyone, I welcome all of you to the yet another interesting session. My dear students, in today's session, I will be discussing a topic called data models. So let's check what do I have in this session. My dear students, especially I will be concentrating to explain the concept of data modeling. So you will understand what is data modeling first. Then after that, I will discuss categories of data models. We have three different categories of data models. I will be explaining that too. Along with that, one of the major difference that you need to understand, that's going to be the schemas and instances. What exactly schemas and what exactly instance is all about, you will learn here. So yes, let's start with the first topic, that is going to be the data modeling. Okay, so what exactly data model is all about? It's very simple. In this definition, you should understand three major words. That's going to be the first one, that is structure of the database. That is the first one. The second one is operations. And the third one that you need to remember is constraints. So you need to understand these three things to understand the concept of data model. So first, let me tell you in brief, data model. Model in the sense what? So guys, so you all know that data in the sense it is a raw facts. It can be in any form. So you all know that. What is the meaning of model? Say for example, I need to construct the apartment. So before I construct the apartment, so I will prepare a model which exactly looks like the actual building, right? So even in the same thing happens with the data. So I will be constructing the data model. So first thing that you need to understand is it is a concept to describe the structure of the database. Data model is a concept to describe the structure of the database. Sir, you are using structure of the database. What is the meaning of structure of the database? So let's understand that. So when it comes to the structure of the database, so how many columns I have? What is the data type that I will have in each column? So that is going to be the structure of the database. So fine. So that is going to get described here. That is the first thing. The second thing, so please understand what is the operations for manipulating the data. So it will also tell you, so what kind of operations that you can perform with the data. It can be insert or it can be delete or it can be update. So what is the manipulation operations that you can perform? So that information also you will get in the data model. So fine, you understood. So data model will give you the structure of the database and also what kind of operations that you can perform on the data. And the last one is, it will also help you to understand the constraints. What is the meaning of constraints? So what constraint that database should obey? What is the meaning of it? Constraints in the sense rules and regulations. So when I'm storing a data to the database, just an example, listen to me. If I'm storing the data for a first PUC student, there is a column called age. I need to enter the data. If I enter age as 6, will it be a valid data? No. So for that, I'm giving the constraint. I'm giving the rule. If you are entering the age, it should be more than 15. Okay. So whenever I enter any value below 15, so it should show me a wrong. Okay. It can be any data. Don't consider only 15. Okay. So it can be any data like that. I can give the rules or the constraints. So what kind of constraints that database has got, which should obey, that will also this data model specifies. So that's what you need to understand. So hope you understood these three things. The first one, what is the first one? Structure. Okay, so data model will tell you the structure of the database. That is the first thing that you should remember. So fine. So what is the second one? So it will also tell you what kind of operations that you can perform. Okay, So that is the second thing that you should remember. The third thing, so you should remember, that is going to be the constraints. So that's what you need to remember. So guys, if you just remember SOC, so you will have the definition for data model. So this is how you have to remember the concept of data model. So fine. Hope you have understood the concept of data model. Moving forward to the next topic, categories of data models. How many different categories do we have? Majorly, we have three categories. The first category that we have is all about the conceptual data modeling or conceptual data models. What is the meaning of conceptual? Conceptual in the sense, observe, we have mentioned in the bracket that is high level. Abstraction will be more. What is the meaning of high level? Abstraction will be more. You will not get all the details. So you will get the data in an abstracted manner. So what is the meaning of it? In this level, so you will get the data in a different user views. Who is the end user here? Whatever the data that we have. So end users are the users. So we will have different types of users which we have already studied in our previous classes. So for each user, so the view will be very different, correct? So whatever the user is viewing, okay, all the data, all that will be in which level? Will be in the conceptual level. User is viewing the data, okay, so that is in the conceptual level is what you need to understand. But if the user asks how exactly, where exactly you have stored, so user will not be able to understand. So user will not be able to tell. Say for example, you guys are looking your result in the website. Do you know from which database you are getting the result? Do you know how they have stored the data? No. So you are just getting the data in one particular format. So that is user view. So what do you call that? So that I will call it as a conceptual level or conceptual data model. So fine. The next one I have is physical. This is a low level. So you should understand, if I say high level in the sense abstraction will be more. But when it comes to low level, what is that you will tell me? You will have the detailed information about the semantics and internals. So what is the meaning of low level? Low level in the sense physically how exactly you have stored the data is what you will get to know in the physical data model. This is what you need to remember with respect to this. And the last one that we have, implementation. We also call it as a representational data model. We also call it as a representation data model. So guys, in this, it provides a concept that falls between the high level and low level. Logically, how exactly you guys are storing, okay? That kind of concept you will be having in this level is what you need to remember. This is the three different categories that you should remember with respect to the data models. Now, it's very important, which I'm going to explain in the coming topic. That's all about the schemas and instance. So guys, these words are very, very familiar, okay, here onwards to all of you, because so you will be understanding this topic now. Listen to me carefully, okay? So what exactly schemas is all about and what exactly instance is all about, let's understand in detail. So guys, schemas, when it comes to the database schemas, so the description of a database, we also call it as a description of the database. And my dear students, with the diagram, let me explain that. You will understand it very clearly. So let me just run to that first. So guys, this is what I will call it as a schema. This is what I will call it as a schema. Okay. So this is what you need to remember. So what is that you are able to understand? Sir, I will get to know how many different columns I have in my table. So this is what, can I call this as a description of the table? Yes. So please observe, this is what I will call it as a schema. And then observe this. There is a difference between that and this. So in this, can you tell me what is the schema? So if I just mention only this part, so you will call this as a schema, right? So, but I have something below that. What do you call this as? So I have data, all right? I have data. So guys, so this is what I will call it as a instance. Whatever I have one row, so that is what I will call it as an instance. Okay, so whatever the data that you are storing in one record, I will call that as an instance. So schema is different, instance is different. That is what you need to remember. So I will explain in detail, in depth. Now, as of now, you just have to remember this, okay? So that you will understand it very clearly whenever I'm explaining these concepts, okay? So you will find it very simple. So fine. So schema will tell you or will help you to understand the description of the database. So fine, it includes the description of database structure. So please remember that. So you will get to know how many tables you have. So by knowing that schema. So that is one of the important points that you need to remember. And you will also get to know what data type that you are going to use and the constraints of the database. So all this information, so you will get it with the database schema. What is that? So you will get to know those constraints and you will have the data type and you will also have the structure of the database. So that's what you need to remember. So schema diagram. So an illustration displays of most aspects of the database schema. So that is what we call it as a database diagram. So fine. Schema construct. So guys, schema construct is the component of the schema or an object within the schema. So that's what you need to remember. Schema construct. This is the component of a schema or an object within the schema. Example, student and course. So that's what I will call it as a schema construct. That's what you need to remember. And then observe, very, very, very important. What is that I need to remember with respect to the database state? What is the meaning of database state? The meaning of the database state in the sense, the actual data stored in the database at a particular moment. So that is what I will call it as a database state. I repeat, at this point of time, what is the data that I have in the database? That is what I will call it as a database state. The current position or the current data what I have in the database is what I will call it as a database state. That is what you need to remember. But we also call that as a instance. Remember, I told you in the example, okay? So right now I have this data. So this is what I will call it as a database state or instance. The another name for the database state is instance. This is what you need to remember. Here you will tell me this is instance. I have the data right now. I will call this as a instance and this is what I will call it as a schema. So hope you understood this very clearly. Moving forward, so fine, you understood. So the another name for the instance is occurrence or snapshot. So you will also call that as a occurrence and snapshot. So what? Database instance. That's what you need to remember. So fine, moving forward to the next one. So before that, the term instance is also applied to individual database components. Example, record instance, table instance, entity instance. Okay, so it depends. No, where exactly you're saying, whether you're saying it for a record or whether you're saying it for a table or whether you're saying it for entity. So it depends. So let's understand what exactly that I have with the database schema versus database state. So I think in the last slides, we have understood what exactly database schema and what exactly the instance is all about. Right? So guys, when it comes to the instance, so please remember the current state at this particular point of time, whatever the data that I have, I will treat that as a instance. So we also call the instance as a occurrence or a snapshot. That's what you need to remember at this point of time with respect to the instance. Now, it's very important that you need to understand what is database state. So please observe, refer to the content of the database at a moment in time. So at this time, so what you have, what is the data that you have? So that is what I will call it as a database state. That's what you need to remember. So fine, initial database state. So what is that? What is the meaning of it? So listen to me carefully. It refers to the database state when it is initially loaded into the system. So when you are loading something to the system in the beginning or in the initial time. So that is what I will call it as an initial database state. So it's very clear. So database state in the sense what? Right now what you have in the database, that's what I will call it as a database state. But when you are storing initially to the database, that's what I will call it as a initial database state. So now, very important. What is valid state? What is valid state? So observe carefully. A state that satisfies the structure and constraints of the database. I have the data in the database or in the table. So that data or whatever the data that I have, that should satisfy both structure and the constraint. So if the data is satisfying both structure and constraint, then that I will call it as a valid state. So you all know what is structure and what is constraint, which we have studied in the beginning of the slide. So if your data, whatever you're storing, so if you have already stored and if it is satisfying structure and constraint, then I will call that as a valid state. That's what you need to remember. The next one is distinction. Observe what I have here. So the database schema changes very infrequently. So that's what you need to remember. The database schema changes very infrequently. Say for example, I have a table. I have forgotten to add one column called age. If I add, okay, so there will be a change in the schema. I will add one more column. After inserting 50 records, I will insert one column. Now, there will be a change in the schema. That's what you need to remember. So that's what we are trying to talk here. So the database schema changes infrequently. Infrequently in the sense, not frequently. Very rarely you will miss out and you will change. So that's the first point. The database state changes every time in the database is updated. So the database state changes every time the database is updated. So that's what you need to remember. State is getting changed when you update every time, obviously. So what happens? I have a table and I update the table. I will enter the data. I will change the data. So obviously the state will update it. So that is what you need to remember. And the next point, schema is also called intention and state is also called extension. What is another name for the schema? I will call it as an intention, and state I will call it as a extension. That's what you need to remember. Do you have the clarity with respect to the schema and state? Yes. Schema in the sense what? So guys, this is what I will call it as a schema. Okay. What is the meaning of state? So whatever the data that I have, okay, this is what I will call it as a state. That's what you need to remember. All right. So fine. This is the end of the session. So hope you have understood the difference between the data model and categories of data model, and you also learned about the concept of schema and instance. All right. So happy learning. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye-bye.